Hi, you guys. So it's Sandra again from Transparency Reading, and this pick of cards gonna be why did they leave you? And there is 5 cards. This is pile number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Or pile number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You can be drawn to either the stones or the cards. You can pick more than one. And then the timestamps will be down below, as well as if you want any readings from me, everything will be down below. And let's get into it. So we're gonna go, if you want to, you can pause the video, and we're gonna go with pile number 1 first. And remember, this is why did they leave you. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so pile number 1, why did they leave you? So we got the Page of Swords in reverse. We got the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. We got the Nine of Wands in reverse. The Knight of Swords. And the Ten of Swords. So, why did they leave you? Okay, so I feel like they left you to go to pursue someone or something else here with the King of Swords, or the King of Swords, the Knight of Swords. I'm so sorry. And I think here, it left you hurt. Because for some of you, you already know that they left you for someone else. Maybe they didn't even say it. Maybe that wasn't their excuse. But that's why. I feel like the reason why they left you for someone else or something else, or so they could leave you for someone else, or like something else as far as like job opportunities, or maybe they just want to be single or something other that has to do with themselves, not anything that has to do with you. And the reason why is with the Page of Swords in reverse here. I think they got bored, because I feel like here they're very much like a fire sign, maybe some air signs, where they kind of just get bored of like a relationship and then they don't want it anymore. If they are that type of person, that is all on them. Yeah, I feel like maybe even again with the Knight of Swords here, and tying in with the Queen of Pentacles, maybe they were even ruthless to you. Maybe they treated you like shit, and maybe it was like that for a while. And finally, maybe they found someone or something better, quote unquote better, but not really better, but whatever. And they decided to go for that instead, because you didn't mean enough to them for them to stick around. Yeah, because as soon as they saw something else, they were ready to let their guard down. They were ready to leave here. So I feel like the reason why they left had to be because they didn't respect your relationship. They didn't respect your feelings. And they just were just bored of it. They just wanted something else. They're like never satisfied. I think my advice to pile number one here is, if you are still in this situation, if you're still hurt by this, don't be, because ultimately this person, the King of Swords, why do I keep saying King of Swords? The Knight of Swords, he's, this person, he or she, they're looking for something that will never, that they'll never find, because what they're looking for is within themselves. But they're the type of person that will never dwell or look within. They're the type that constantly just, you know what, I'll just put my baggage, or I'll just go into another relationship. I'll just do this. I'll just do that. They don't want to face their blockages, their baggage, their past. They just want to move forward. They don't care. I really feel like here with the King of Swords, they're like ruthless. They don't care who they hurt. They're just going for what they want. And ultimately they did hurt you here. And honestly, I feel like for some of you, I'm sorry to say, but I feel like they were a piece of shit. Like, I felt like they treated you like you were nothing, like you weren't as special. And I feel like I'm sorry. I'm getting a little like irritated here with this reading, just because it's kind of getting me mad, because I feel like even though they treated you badly here, I feel like you guys, with the Ten of Swords here, I feel like you guys didn't want it to end. Maybe it's because you had this unhealthy attachment or this codependency on them, where you felt like you couldn't do quote unquote better than them, or you can't find, or no one else is gonna love you, or you just felt you don't see your worth here. And it's very, very sad. I feel like hopefully you guys will see it, because once you get past this, it'll be fine. I feel like spirit, universe, God, whatever you believe in, is just letting me know, or wanting me to tell you guys that if you're this person going through this situation, and of course not all of this will like resonate with all of you guys, but if you're the person that feels like you can't do better, like you're unworthy, like everything this person has done to you, especially if they're toxic or abusive, that you deserved it, you are wrong. You are beautiful in your own way. You are special, and the reason, and I feel like, I'm sorry, I'm trying to, okay, so yeah, you are special in your own way, and I feel here they had to leave. They had to leave you, even though this is the reason why they left you. They had to leave you regardless, because Spirit wanted me to tell you that you're worth so much more than this person, than this asshole, excuse me, but you're so much more than this. You're more than just someone who's treating you like crap. You'll find your happy ending, but it's not with this person, and this person will get what they deserve. And I feel like you just need to stop dwelling and stop pointing fingers at yourself, thinking that it didn't work out because of you, because you were the failure. No. It's this person. This person doesn't know how to love. You weren't the person that didn't know how to love. You weren't the one that was mistreating love. This person was. And I think Spirit just wants me to tell you that it's okay. It's okay to feel the pain that you're feeling, and it's also okay to feel lonely. Sometimes we find ourselves in the darkest places, and that is fine, because we have to go through the darkest places to find the light, to find ourselves. And this relationship, though for some of you it was abusive and very toxic, I feel like this relationship did its course. This relationship did its what's the word I want to say? This relationship did its duty. It's done its lesson. You now have the lesson. Now you have to learn from it. And you have to realize that this is only going to make you stronger. And you're not weak. And I feel like this person, especially if it is a very abusive relationship, I feel like this person belittled you and made you feel like as if you're nothing. But again, I feel like Spirit is just wanting me to tell you that you are something. You are loved. You are great. And I feel like, I'm sorry, it's so weird, but I really feel like some of you, I feel your pain. I feel like how hurt you are and how you feel like nothing. Like you feel as though you screwed up. Like nothing, that you're the reason why, you've done wrong. You're the one that can't love. You're the one that won't find anyone. You're unlovable. And I feel like it's mostly because this person here belittled you. But again, I feel like you're stronger than this. And ultimately, this person, this Knight of Swords here, he or she's gonna keep going, and you're not gonna be the only person they're hurting, because they don't know how to love. So no matter who they're with, even if they're quote unquote happy or whatnot, they're not going to ever know how to love someone, because the love that they look for is within themselves. And Spirit is giving you that opportunity to look within yourself, to have self-love for yourself again, to recognize who you are again, because this relationship took a toll on you. And I'm totally going on a tangent, and I'm so sorry, pal number one, but that's honestly how I feel. But yeah, that's basically how I feel. This person left you. They found something quote unquote better. They thought they did, at least, and they left you just high and dry. They don't even care. They thought you were boring. They were just in the relationship until they found something else, and then they up and left. And you know what? Good thing they did, because pile number one, you're better than that. And I hope you understand that. And I'm sorry that I went on a little tangent here, but I don't know. It's very like, ooh. But I hope you get that message, pile number one. Hope everything's good. And now we're going to move on to pile number two. Okay, so pile number two. Why did they leave you? So, got the Two of Pentacles. We got the Six of Wands. We got the King of Swords. We got the Five of Cups. And we got the Hierophant. So, right off the bat, I want to say the reason why they left you. Again, keep in mind it's general reading, so it may not correlate with everyone. But the reason why they left you, I really want to say it's for an ex. I really, really want to say it's for an ex. I don't think they were done mourning. I don't think they were done here. I don't think they were really getting over this ex. I think they still love this ex. Yeah, because here with the the Two of Pentacles, that's what they want to be. They want to be back with their ex. Even if you had asked them not or whatnot, or like if they did or they didn't, he may have been like the King of Swords and been like, oh no, very defensive. But if you look at the King of Swords here, he's kind of sad a little bit. If you really look at it, he's a little sad here. And I feel like that was him. He or she, whoever, or person of interest, very much was not done mourning the relationship of his previous, I think, or the person of interest, previous ex. And I feel like the ex really took a toll on him or her. I feel like if the ex, you know how when some people have friends, if some people claim they're friends with their ex, and some people genuinely are friends, and other people just say that as a cover up because they really care. If they were quote unquote friends with their ex, it's because they still cared. And maybe even if you knew that ex probably, even if you knew the ex personally, that ex knew that they still had feelings, and kind of probably even like bragged about it a little bit, like, oh, look at he or she, still has feelings for me, he or she cares about me better or whatnot. That's if you know him. If not, it was definitely more so like this was him here deciding over two people here. Should I go back with my ex or should I stay with my current one? But this person had so much feelings that they wanted to go back to their ex. Yeah. I mean, not to say that the ex is better than you, but not to say that the ex is better, because the ex could be like the worst person ever, but it's just that's what they were drawn to. And ultimately here with the Six of Wands, he's stopped making any effort in your relationship. He or she stopped making any effort in your relationship. It kind of just he or she, your person of interest, just did not want it anymore. They wanted the other person. They were now after the other person. And I feel like that is why they left, because they themselves were never over their ex. I think this person will have a hard time being over their ex, even if their ex is like the shittiest person, because we all know that person that has an ex who is the shittiest person, and no matter what, they still have feelings for them. They still want them. Or the ex can be like, great, who knows? But that's how they feel, and this is the cards telling me, for some of you, not all of you, that is why they left. They left to go back to their ex. And you know what? If they want to go back to their ex, cool, because that leaves space for new love to come into your life, right? So that's what I get for you, pile number 2. I hope it resonates for at least some of you. And again, like, that don't mean you're better than the ex, It just means, I don't know, it's stuck in the past, I guess. So we're moving on to pile number 3. So pile number 3, why did they leave you? You got the 5 of Pentacles in reverse, the King of Wands, the 7 of Swords, the Three of Swords, and the Eight of Swords. Wow, all these swords. Okay. So, I'm just gonna say, I'm sorry, you guys. Some of you this will not relate to at all, but for the ones that do resonate, I'm just gonna say it, and I hope you take it. And if you don't like it, you know, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say what I feel or what the cards are showing me, and I think this person was never really committed. I think basically this person was a player or a cheater or both. Because with the King of Wands and the Seven of Swords here together, these two cards right here, it's as if for here they're looking back and here they're looking at something, and I feel like that something ain't you. It's always something else, and I feel like they've caused you so much pain, especially if you took them, if you stayed with them. Ultimately they left because they didn't want to be committed. They just wanted a right now and not to be committed. I think at the time that they were in a relationship with you, they thought that they knew how to, not know how to love you per se, but they thought that, oh, like, you know, I really like this person, I really love them or whatnot, like I'm gonna be with them. But that doesn't, just because you love someone in their case does not mean that you're gonna change for them, and they definitely did not change their ways. Especially here with the Five of Pentacles in reverse, this to me shows me that they're not willing to go through hell and back for you. They're not willing to be that committed type. And ultimately with the Three of Swords, they end up hurting you. And I feel like for some of you it was like not more than once, because I feel like for some of you, you guys just turned the other way. You guys just didn't want to see it. You guys were in denial, or you just stuck through the relationship because you know what? This person, I love them. And you know what? It's not my place to judge anyone, because we've all been in situations where we've been blinded by love. And I feel like that's definitely how you were. And I think this person took advantage of it. But after a while, they just wanted to really be free and do their own thing without continuously hurting you, without having someone to bug. And I feel like maybe there was someone, a specific person for them. But then again, for some of them, it was just more than one specific person. They were just like a fuckboy. But that don't mean that fuckboys don't want to be in relationships. Just like, can they stay in one, you know? But yeah, I feel like that is why I feel like it really hurt you, and I feel like now you have this fear of letting someone in. But I feel like the universe is just, Spirit is just wanting me to tell you that it happens to all of us at some point or another. We all get hurt by love. We all get hurt by somebody. But it is not to fear. It is to learn, to move forward. If you fear love, you'll never be satisfied. You'll always end up disappointing yourself. And that is not what you want. That is not what you want. If you fear love, you'll never be open enough. You'll always be guarded. You'll always be closed up. And that is also not what you want. You know what I mean? So I feel like if you fear love, you'll never be satisfied. You'll never be happy. You'll never really open up and love because you'll be scared of it, and that is not what you need. Just because you let the wrong person in does not mean that the right person isn't gonna love you. You know what I mean? And sometimes letting the wrong person in is the right thing to do, because ultimately that's how it teaches us lessons. And I feel like with you, I feel like that's what you need to realize, is that everything in life is a lesson learned. And here, them hurting you and hurting you and cheating on you, maybe even multiple times for some of you. And finally, maybe you were the one that didn't want to let go because you truly love them and you wanted to fix them and you wanted to love them and to show them that you yourself are loyal and you will love them no matter what. But look at it as in the universe took them away from you for a reason. And that reason is because if they kept doing the same thing, eventually you're just going to be immune to it, and you're going to think that that is love when that is not love. And I feel like for some of you guys have that idea now, like, oh, like, excuse my language, but like, fuck love, or you know what, all guys are like this, or all women are like this. And that's not what you should see. You should see, like, you know what, it didn't work out with this person. I love them. I had great times with them. I had bad times with them. But you know what? I'm going to move forward, because ultimately I can't let the baggage of them hurting me affect my new relationship or affect me in the long run, because then you're just going to be cold-hearted, and that's not what you want. You don't want to end up, ironically, being just like them by being cold-hearted. And I feel like that is what the universe is telling me, that even though this happened, that does not give you, not give you the right, but that does not mean that you have to be just like them, or you have to be just as cold as them, or just as hurtful as them. No, you still have a heart. You can still love, and you probably love them more than they loved you. And you know what? That shows how much of a stronger person you are overall. So, I mean, I think you shouldn't be upset about it. But yeah, that's what I got for you. Pile number, what am I on? 3. I'm so sorry. It's kind of late. But yeah. So that's what I got for you. I hope you take it if it resonates. And yeah, don't be so upset about things. So moving on to pile number 4. Why did they leave? The Page of Cups in reverse. Oops. The 10 of Wands. The Lovers. The Tower in reverse. And the 4 of Pentacles in reverse. So, okay. So, the reason why they left you was they're scared of commitment. That's what I feel. I feel like for some of you, it could have just been a serious relationship. But I'm putting this upright right now to show with the fish here. Sometimes that can represent fertility. So for some of you, maybe we were even pregnant and they got scared and they walked away. If that is the case, like, I am truly sorry. It happened, but you know what? You can move forward. If not, it could be just like this offering of being committed to each other, like serious commitment. And I feel like ultimately this person didn't know how to be truly committed And I think the idea even scared them to just know that it's like you two forever and that's it. Like, I feel like they're like very scared. And again, going back to the Page of Cups, since this means fertility, sometimes they could even just be scared of like the whole family idea. Like, oh my God, to get with this person, then we're gonna have family, and they want this and they want that. Or maybe even like meeting your family, like your parents or just your family in general. Like they were nervous and they were like, no, you know. So I just feel like they were scared of commitment, but it has nothing to do with you. Here with the Tower, it has to do with their past. In their past, they were hurt. In their past, they were committed to someone who wasn't committed to them. And because of that, kind of like my pile number 3, where kind of like pile number 3, because they were hurt, they became cold just like the other person. And that's not what they should have done, but that's how they took it as, I guess. And here they're just kind of ignoring, kind of not wanting to see and just pushing forward. They're not wanting to see that they were wrong or what they did was wrong, because I feel like for the most part there wasn't really much like it wasn't so negative. It wasn't such a negative relationship. I just think it was too much for them as far as commitment goes, and I feel like that's why they were not ready to be committed and to take the huge step of like maybe getting married or having children or getting engaged or moving in together or meeting the family. Like whatever big step that was for them, they were not ready. And that has nothing to do with you. That has to do with them. Again, someone in their past hurt them so much, someone that they were committed to, but that person wasn't committed to them, that they no longer know how. They're too scared of commitment. They just want to walk away from it because they're scared that maybe they'll get committed again and you'll end up hurting them. And I feel like truly, if you really feel like this person is meant to be in your life, pile number 4, I feel like you can try to talk to them. Again, only if you really truly feel like they're supposed to be in your life, and tell them that, and especially if you know, like if they've talked to you about this person in their past, tell them that you're not like that person, that you're different, and that you want this, that basically you're going to be there for them no matter what, because that's really what they need. They need reassurance, and that's if you want them to come back, or yeah, if you want something with them. If not, that's why they were just scared of commitment, and that's basically why they left, because of the past, because of their baggage. And if they left because you're pregnant, they just didn't want no drama. It was too much for them. They wanted out. Yeah, they wanted out. They weren't ready financially. If you were pregnant, this may not even be true, but if you were pregnant and they left you, they thought that this is all in their head. So they thought they're not ready financially. They're not quite sure if you guys are actually lovers. And even though they know it's wrong to just up and leave you, they're going to ignore. They're just going to go. They're just going to do their thing. And ultimately, if that's the case, like, you don't need them in your life, to be honest. But other than that, that's what I see for you for pile number 4. And yeah, that's basically it. Now we're moving on to pile number 5. At last, pile number 5, we are here. So, why did they leave you? The Justice card in reverse. The 3 of Cups. Okay. The 6 of Swords, Three of Pentacles, and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. Why did they leave you? Maybe they left you for the side chick, for the third person, the third party. Or maybe there was a coworker or a quote-unquote friend just there on the sidelines that we know they're not really just coworkers, or we know they're not really just quote-unquote friends. And yeah, and they decided that they really, especially with the three of Cups and the Three of Pentacles, yeah, I feel like there was a third person interruption, and they chose the third person. And they, with the Six of Swords, they walked away, they went away. But here with the Six of Swords, I feel like what's standing out to me is a woman and a child here. So if you guys had a family together and he just up and left your family, or your you and your kids, I feel like you guys are kind of somewhat in pain, not really knowing what direction, especially like if maybe you were with this person for a while and then all of a sudden you become single, and now you have a kid with them, and they just kind of up and left you for someone new, for maybe someone younger. If that's the case, like, that'll do some damage to your self-esteem, but not to worry, because I feel like here with the Wheel of Fortune, they're gonna get their karma back, because Wheel of Fortune can represent karma, and I feel like what goes around comes around, you know what I mean? So if that's what they've done to you, what goes around comes around, and I can tell that it is very unfair. It's a very unfair situation because of the Justice card in reverse. They weren't fair. They weren't playing fair. They weren't fair to you. Maybe they weren't fair to your kids, if you guys had kids. They were just not fair. They were They were lying. They weren't being truthful. They weren't being honest. And ultimately, they left you scarred. And I feel like if that's the case, if they left you for the third person or the other person, again, karma's gonna come for them because they did you wrong. But I just want to say, don't ever, like this woman here is sad, don't ever lower your self-esteem or forget your worth just because they left you for someone that's quote-unquote prettier or skinnier or maybe younger or smarter or whatever you think they are. Because at the end of the day, they're humans just as well. And you know what? I think that person is more shady, and they're not actually as great as you maybe you think they are, because you're the one self-pitying. Because a person that can come in and destroy a household, that can destroy a relationship, in that case, they're not even worth it. Because I feel like whatever, again, what goes around comes around. So whatever they did comes back around. So in that sense, they're like, the way you get them is the way you lose them. And I really truly feel like that's the case. And so, like, if they like a cheater, because if your person then got with the side chick or the third person, then they're obviously a cheater. They obviously left someone important for someone that's less important, then they're going to do the same thing to them, and or maybe vice versa. And ultimately, you're going to grow to be stronger. And if you are like a single parent or something, they left you, just know that you have to be strong for your kids, and don't ever look at yourself in the mirror or think you're less than just because someone left you for someone else, because that is not true. That is all in the mind and not what is true. Remember that before you were even with this person, you were your own person. Before you were with this person, you knew who you were, you knew what you stand for. And even after this person, you're gonna eventually know who you are and what you stand for. And maybe even in the future, maybe you're not even gonna want this person anymore. Maybe you're gonna be like, you know what, I moved on, I'm better, and you know what, you're the one that's gonna have this karma because you've hurt me. And maybe by that time you'll actually see their karma, maybe even laugh at it because you think it's funny. But ultimately, pile number 5, if they left you for someone else, let them have that person, because ultimately karma's gonna come back for them. And don't self-pity yourself, because you are worth it no matter what. So that's basically it, you guys. I'm sorry for such a long video, but yeah, if you like the video or if you resonate with me, subscribe, like, comment what number you are and maybe your situation if you like to share. If not, that's cool. And see you in the next one. And if you want a reading, everything will be down below. So goodbye until next time. See you later.